We waste so much energy fighting, gossiping, avoiding, or talking about toxic people. But what if the difficult coworker, the draining friend, or the relentless critic was actually a necessary spiritual assignment? In Vedic astrology, this arena is the sixth house. The sixth house is the house of conflict, service, debt, and enemies. The sixth house is known as a Dushtana house, a difficult house. But it's the place where your dharma gets battle tested. Today we're reframing toxic people as karmic teachers and learning the essential sixth house lesson. So why are your enemies called your karmic teachers in the sixth house? Well, the sixth house is the universe's pressure cooker. It forces you to build resilience and self-mastery. It is the house where we face the four types of pressure: the rogue, rin, ripu, and service. That's not a pressure, but kind of. Rogue, which is disease, rin is debt, ripu is enemies, and then your service. The conflict or ripu is the enemy, the person who constantly criticizes you. They force you to build your first house yourself. So strong that their opinion cannot penetrate it. For example, that one coworker that critiques every single presentation. They're teaching you to be so impeccable in your work that your words lose all power. When you're doing the service, when somebody makes you do service, the person who constantly needs you, they force you to clarify your boundaries, learn how to commit to your boundaries. It's a sixth house requirement, and it defines the limit of your service. For instance, a friend who calls you only when they have a crisis. They're forcing you to define how much emotional energy you have left for yourself after helping them. So set some boundaries. Next is the debt or the rin, a sudden financial pressure or debt, which is also a sixth house matter. It forces you to become disciplined and strategic with your resources. For example, having to pay off a loan that you took years ago is forcing you to manage your second house of wealth better and with more foresight. The next is the disease. It's also shown through sixth house, the rogue. An illness or a health issue. It forces you to pay attention to your body and establish a proper daily routine. For example, a recurring backache. It's a direct signal to prioritize exercise, sleep, and a balanced diet, making you stronger overall and teaching you the importance of self-care. So the lesson of the sixth house is that you cannot spiritually ascend without being tested by people and situations that challenge your peace and challenge your physical, financial, and emotional stability. So what are some of the ways to win in the sixth house? Let's talk about them. So sixth house also has the element of service, which is seva. So that's your first way to win. The highest manifestation of the sixth house is the selfless service. You dedicate a small part of your life to serving those that are less fortunate. This channels your difficult sixth house energy away from personal conflict and into positive humanitarian action. When you give, the universe protects you from the very troubles the sixth house represents, because the universe wants you to give. Number 2 is your health. Use that as a strategy. Your sixth house governs your health and daily routine. You win the sixth house by being disciplined. When you're eating well, when you're exercising, when you're resting properly, you literally build a shield around you. You become emotionally impenetrable to toxic drama. Your health is literally your armor against the outside world. What the next strategy is, the strategy of the sixth lord. The planet or the sign that rule your sixth house. It shows your natural strategy for dealing with enemies and challenges. So look at the number that's placed in your sixth house. Let's look at the specific lessons for all 12 signs that will help you guys. If your 6th house is ruled by Mars, such as in Aries or Scorpio, your power is in assertive action and defense. However, if your 6th house, let's say, is Aries only, you must win by acting quickly. You would be a Scorpio ascendant in this. Set the boundary immediately. You got to act cleanly also. You set the boundary, you move on. Do not let conflicts drag out. But if your 6th house is Scorpio, which means you're a Gemini ascendant, you win through strategic depth and secrecy. You must detach emotionally and analyze the situation carefully. Your greatest defense is silence and not revealing your full hand. If your 6th house is ruled by Venus, such as Taurus or Libra, your strategy is through grace and abundance. Let's say your 6th house is Taurus, which would make you a Sagittarius ascendant. You win by establishing firm material boundaries. Do not lend money and focus on building your stable resources. Refuse to be distracted by drama. But if your 6th house is Libra, that would make you a Taurus ascendant, you win by mastering fairness and diplomacy. You must resolve conflicts through balance and negotiation, or simply by maintaining your elegant composure and refuse to sink to your enemy's level or who you perceive as your enemy. If your 6th house is ruled by Mercury, such as Gemini or Virgo, your power lies in intelligence and communication. Now say if your 6th house is Gemini, that's going to make you a Capricorn ascendant. You win by analyzing and compartmentalizing. Use logic, not emotion. Your defense is the ability to talk your way out of or around a problem, or simply by distracting yourself with constant productivity. Now, but if your 6th house is Virgo, which means that would make you an Aries ascendant, you win through perfection and service. Make your work so impeccable that there's no room for criticism, and channel conflict energy into detailed, helpful service. If your 6th house is Cancer, which would make you an Aquarius ascendant, your lesson is to protect your emotional core. Cancer. You win by being incredibly selective about who you allow into your inner circle, and nurturing your peace through self-care and quiet time, because Cancer is moon. If your 6th house is ruled by Leo, that would make you a Pisces ascendant. Your strategy is to use your authority and confidence. That's a strong sign, Leo in 6th house. You win by stepping into your personal power and not letting critics diminish your bright light. Your ego is the battlefield. You must purify it and use your inherent royalty to rise above the petty drama. You're going to be dealing with big competitors. If your 6th house is ruled by Jupiter, such as Sagittarius or Pisces, your strength is in wisdom and detachment. Now, if your 6th house is Sagittarius, it's going to make you a Cancer ascendant. You win by having a high moral perspective. You see the bigger philosophical lesson. You forgive quickly, and you use your faith to protect you, and it's going to. But if your 6th house is, say, Pisces, that is going to make you a Libra ascendant. You win through surrender and intuition. You must trust your gut about who is toxic and simply detach, dissolving the conflict through compassion or quiet spiritual practice, which is the 12th house connection. If your 6th house is ruled by Saturn, such as Capricorn or Aquarius, then your lesson is patience and structure. So say your 6th house is ruled by Capricorn. That would make you a Leo ascendant. You will win by building a strong, lasting structure, so strong structures, and doing hard work. You overcome enemies through sheer diligence and being so busy building your career that you have no time for their drama. But if your 6th house is Aquarius, ruled by Aquarius, which would make you a Virgo ascendant, you win through detachment and community. You must keep an objective humanitarian view and let your network or your group support you. Don't take things personally. See it as a societal or structural problem. Now let's talk about how do you overcome the shadow of the 6th house. 6th house does come with shadow. If you're getting to do a lot of service, you may start gossiping about the people that are making you do that service. You can fall into endless gossip, endless fighting, or becoming a victim. So to truly win, you must engage the house opposite the 6th, which is the 12th house, the house of detachment, rest, meditation. When the conflict is high, you must withdraw and spend time in silence and meditation. This is not avoidance. It is a strategic retreat to recharge your spiritual battery. The 6th house demands action and engagement, but the 12th house reminds you that your ultimate peace comes from within, far away from the drama. Use meditation to consciously release the emotional charge that these people or problems as you perceive that they carry. The 12th house is where you surrender the drama to a higher power and reclaim your inner sovereignty. So what does all this mean? It means that toxic people that you perceive are toxic are just teachers carrying an urgent lesson, a lesson about your self-worth, your boundaries, and your discipline. They're showing you exactly where you need to get stronger. Your peace is not a gift. It's a direct result of your inner discipline and the spiritual work that you do. So let me give you a couple of assignments. First, I want to know, tell me in the comments, who is your biggest 6th house teacher right now? And what boundary do you need to set with them? So talk about the lesson. Talk about, you don't need to talk about the person, just the lesson. Second, let's turn this knowledge into action. As I told you, 6th house is for seva. Do your good deed of the day for someone less fortunate. Channel that 6th house energy into selfless seva. Do something good. You can also share this video with as many people as you can who can truly learn from this important message about relationships and soul evolution, but do more service. Stick to one activity that you can do to service. That's going to really help you with your 6th house. And as I always say, knowledge is meant to be shared. And that's what I'm doing for you. So you should also share your knowledge. Of course, if you'd like to connect with us, you can schedule a consultation via the link in the About section. And of course, subscribe to the video, hit the like button if you like it, hit the bell icon to be notified of our next videos. These videos can truly change your life. I mean, we are given the divine instruction in our charts, in our horoscope of what we need to figure out in this life, what we're here to learn, what soul lessons are we here to learn. It's all in our chart. Why aren't we using it? Why are we just wandering around without any mission? Let's go through our chart and let's focus and hit it right there on the head in terms of what we're here to learn. So, as always, thank you for watching my videos and have a great day.